Our hero, George, faces many dangers in his life as king of the jungle. For one thing, the jungle is full of trees. Then there are snarling leopards. Not to mention the crosstown traffic. With all these things, do you think it's fair that he should have to tangle with a mad scientist?
No!
Yes, it is I, Dr. Chicago. And have I got a Lulu of a mad scientist gimmick this time?
The evil genius dashed to his waiting plane and took off. Within minutes, he was flying over ep8 province. The Bombay doors opened and out fell seeds.
Oh, boy! What seeds?
One of the first to notice the seeds was George of the Jungle.
Oh! Somebody up there like me.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
This being a short episode, the seed grew very quickly. Then later that night...
George, somebody's at the window. That thing is stealing my purse. George, we must get to the bottom of this, and quickly.
Right. That quick enough?
But George wasn't the only victim. All over ep8 province, people had planted Dr. Chicago seeds with horrendous results. A sweet potato plant was discovered raiding a refrigerator late at night.
Okay, Louie, drop the leg of lamb.
A dahlia planted on a curbside was arrested for breaking open parking meters.
How are you going to arrest a dahlia?
I'm going to transplant it into the paddy wagon.
A light-fingered morning glory tied up the bank president and proceeded to open the bank vault. Naturally, the district commissioner called on George for help.
George, these depredations must cease.
Right, but first we stop robberies.
I suppose you're right. What I can't figure out is where these flowers get rid of the things they steal.
Hollyhock shop, maybe?
Out! Out!
Meanwhile, back at the treehouse...
Okay, Bean Blossom. Go in there and steal George's most prized possession. No, not his rhinestone yo-yo. His mate.
But the mad doctor hadn't reckoned on the sharp-eyed Tookie bird.
Eat, Tookie.
Steal Rhinestone Yo-Yo and Ursula? That's infuriating.
Dr. Chicago has made off with your true love?
Yes, Rhinestone Yo-Yo. What's an Ursula?
That's your mate, George.
Oh, that long-haired fellow who never shave?
That's the one, and you must rescue her.
And Yo-Yo.
And Yo-Yo, yes.
George, go. Ah!
Meanwhile, ep8 province was in a turmoil. Angry householders tried to get rid of the plants, but to no avail.
Let go, you stupid Sansevieria!
Through it all zipped the jet scooter of Dr. Chicago, collecting all the loot and storing it in his secret jungle hideout.
How about that, gorgeous? 100 grand in cash, an original fake Rembrandt. Soon I'll own everything in ep8 province but the kitchen sink. I spoke too soon.
But at that moment, high above in the banyan trees, George of the Jungle was hurtling along with split-second precision timing.
As we say in Swahili, oop.
George, you found Dr. Chicago.
I have?
But you must still get by my bodyguard. My very own man-eating plant bodyguard, Strangler McVine. Sick 'em, Strangler.
And Strangler McVine threw a clammy tendril around George's gozzel and squeezed off his air.
Friends, have you ever had your gozzel squeezed by a clammy tendril? Ooh, it's awful.
George, you must call for help.
George, try.
A poor excuse for a distress call, George.
But at that moment, there arose a loud droning sound, and a dark shadow swept over the mad scientist's lair.
George, look, it's the 7-year locusts.
Funny, George called for aardvarks.
Yes, and those 7-year locusts were hungry. Seeing the huge bounty of Dr. Chicago's quick-growing plants beneath them, they peeled off in dining formation. Wherever they were able, Dr. Chicago's plundering plants beat a hasty retreat. Within a few hours, every one of them was done for.
George, you've won.
No, tell me. Tell him.
That plant must have a weak spot somewhere, George. Perhaps it's ticklish.
George, try. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
More, George.
Coochie, coochie, coochie.
Stop that idiot laughing and get back to man-eating.
And the plant did just that.
What is it you say in Swahili?
Oop.
Thank you. Oop.
A fine job, George. We've been saved from Dr. Chicago's green leafy bandits.
Got Yo-Yo back, too. Also, what's her name?
Unfortunately, your little friends, the 7-year locusts, have eaten everything in sight. You owe the Mbwibwi government $3,000 in a pair of pants.
Pair of pants?
Your insect buddies chewed the breeches off of one of our leading citizens.
George, get pants right away.
Do hurry, George. There's a nasty draft.